One second, just let me get the share going. All right, I'm gonna call the meeting to order at 6:03. Can you, just before that, I just need a quick roll call. Rich Saleo, Selectman, present.
Mike Burr, Selectman, present.
Thank you. Just for everyone who might just be listening, Selectman Beth Campbell is not available to join us this evening. Would everyone join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is to approve 3 sets of minutes. The minutes of the regular meeting of June 2nd. Do you want to, we probably should take them individually because June 9th needs a revision.
The only question I had under new business where we added the Waterbury pipeline. Never disregard. I did ask that it be carried under old business, and that's not in the minutes, but it is on the agenda, so.
I must have missed that. But it's here.
Yeah, it's here, so that's okay. All right. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of June 2nd, 2026.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. The minutes of June 4th, 2026, which was a special meeting.
Yeah, she gave those back to you, didn't she?
I only have June 9th because I have to talk about a correction.
I saw June 2nd, but now I can't find it. Did Deb send them to me or did you send them to me?
I did, but then I noticed that what we talked about, the motion.
That was on the 9th.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you sent this on.
I think she sent it yesterday, didn't she?
Yeah.
Not close, those sent earlier,
Today?
not today.
Oh, earlier.
Oh, I've got it. I've got it. I know I read them. I just want to make sure it's not the one I was talking about. Oh, June 2nd we just did. What are we looking for? June 4th?
June 4th.
Yeah, I can't find your June 4th or the June 9th ones.
Can you bring the June 9th as well?
I have the June 2nd ones, but I know I
It's a quick read. I think that was a 7-minute meeting.
right. Okay. That's where I made the motion to call a meeting, town meeting on a night where I'm not going to be here. Okay. I make a motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting of Thursday, June 4th.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
And the
So I probably have the same thing in the June 9th minutes.
there's
I mean, in the June 4th, Deb, before you disappear with those, do they also say, oh no, we were all there. Never mind.
yeah, I get Deb was trained this way, but I don't see that this is an issue because it says who's present in the roll call,
That was my thinking.
right? And so it's unanimous, even though there are only 2 of us here. The only thing that Deb and I talked about this, if there's somebody abstains or somebody votes no, then it should be two yes, 1 abstention or
Right.
or 2 yes and 1 no.
1 no.
Right. But if there's only 2 people here, I think it can still read unanimous. It's up It's up to Deb.
It's up to you. It makes sense to me, which is why I wrote it that way, but if
I've
if
seen
you're okay with it,
I've seen it used
Both ways.
both ways, whether there's a full attendance or not,
yep,
because you always take a roll call and state who's present and who's absent. So
agreed.
I would just say in the future, we can do it the way Deb wants to do it, but I don't think we need to change these. It's a short meeting. I'll make a motion to approve the special meeting minutes of June 9th.
Second,
As presented.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. So the next item, we move to new business. The next item on new business is P and Z alternate members. I wanted to just bring something up, and we will discuss this again, but since it's on the agenda, I'll tee it up, but I'd certainly like to hear Beth's thoughts as well. I would like to start to think about changing the structure of the way we do the P and Z. Right now, we've got 5 members that are considered permanent members, and then we have 3 alternates. We struggle to get alternates, people interested in being an alternate. And the purpose of the alternate is to make sure they have a quorum at all times, right? So at a permanent seat, permanent membership of 5, that brings them to a quorum of 3. So the whole purpose is that the alternates attend the meetings. They participate in terms of asking questions and so forth, but unless they are seated to replace someone who's not there, they do not vote. That has sort of been a consternation for some people who have expressed some interest in joining the P and Z, but felt that, and even some people in the past who've served on the alternate committee and, sort of said, this isn't really meaningful to me if I can't vote and really participate completely. And I know it's a small, variance between those two sets of responsibilities. But I think it's worth a discussion and worth exploring whether we should change that structure and move that board to, say, 7 members with no alternates. That would certainly increase the quorum to 4, but would give them 2 more permanent members. And
Yeah.
I don't have any contextual history on this. I'm reacting to what I've heard from folks.
Yeah, as someone who really went through the whipping post with planning and zoning when we tried to get that project started, the restoration, I thought it was, I wasn't really happy with the way they managed who was seated and who was an alternate, because I thought there was some gamesmanship going on there. I may have just been my perception because it wasn't going that smoothly, but I think it would make sense.
I'm just asking if, what I'm proposing is let's just kick the tires on this one and see who knows what.
What governs how these meetings are structured? Do they have their own bylaws, planning and zoning,
Or statute.
or in statute? Because the Opera House Commission has, Opera House Commission, there's an ordinance that establishes the commission, but we have our own bylaws.
Ordinances trump statutes when they're in place, but if there's not, then the statute rules. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, all of these boards and commissions were established per Connecticut state statutes.
But we'd have to do some research.
I have to do some research.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
like to see, does the statute say how many people are supposed to be on it based on population?
I don't know about based on population, but I can tell you, it does say when they were originated, how many members and when, for how long, at the very beginning. And then once that year was up, then it went into, say, for example, a 5-member board, 2 were 1 year, 2 were the following year that termed out, and then 1 the 3rd year. There's certain language.
Okay, well, obviously we got to do a little homework and have it have it under old business for the next meeting, or right?
Yeah, I will do some homework.
I see your point and I kind of agree with it. I just would like to know what.
I did go to a P and Z meeting last night and had a couple of informal conversations about me showing up at their meeting, probably in August, to have a conversation about this and see what everybody's thoughts are. I need to get some historical context. I need someone like a Bill Guerrera to help sort of put some
Well,
of this.
You would be the guy.
Yeah. And I haven't done that yet, but
Okay.
I would like to look at this and see if it makes any sense at all. If it doesn't, it doesn't. This isn't something that I'm losing sleep over, but it would, I am trying to get some of our boards to, be fully seated as best we can.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know why anybody would want to sit there as an alternate, not knowing if they were ever going to be seated. Some of those meetings are long.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
If you're gonna go to the trouble to volunteer and be there, then you should be able to vote. Right? Makes sense.
So the next item on the agenda is the Greenway ban. So ban in this case is the alternative to a bond. It's our interim borrowing that we do during a project's duration until its completion. When it's complete or partially complete, and if it's partially complete with a substantive dollar amount, then we would go to a bond, roll it into some other bonding activities and go ahead and bond it. We took out a ban when the Greenway was approved about 3 years ago. And we are now at the point where we have to actually start paying it back. So we have to make a 1/20th payment, and we will do that probably by the end of next week. We did talk to bond counsel about how we need to manage this going forward and what we need to do. I bring it up today because we are at kind of a critical juncture in terms of deciding how we need to proceed. I will remind you that that project is about $200,000 short. We worked with the NVCOG to put in a rec trails grant application for that. We have not yet heard whether we're getting that or not. This is an extremely long time period to not hear anything. They were supposed to be released in April. And it's about 2 months late in terms of them releasing the information as to who was approved. So I just want to make the board aware that we will have a decision point to make. If we get the Rec Trails grant, we will be good to go, but we have to start moving fast because we can't keep rolling the ban forward. So we will need to start to work on the project as quickly as possible. I see that Amanda's on. And I've spoken with Amanda and talked about how we need to really get started with the project. So I will be working with Amanda to tie her into some of where the COG left off, so we can start looking at this.
Can we
If
get,
what
can we,
just
can I get
one sec, can I just get the last piece in and then no, sorry. The last piece really, Mike, is if we don't get to 200,000, we're going to be at a crossroads. We can't bond the money. We need to make a decision whether we're going to find an alternative funding source for that. I will have to leave that to the Greenway. And Amanda, you're welcome to come off mute and if you'd like to add some color to this, but we will need
questions before she has.
Okay. Fair enough. We need to make some decisions here about if, and it really hinges on whether we get the 200 or not. So,
Okay, my questions are, I don't know, this has been going on for so long, I don't know. When you stated that the Greenway project was approved, and so we took out a bond anticipation note. Right, so I'd like to know how much was approved? Obviously, if we were gonna bond something eventually, was
400
there a dollar amount, just 400?
$445,000
That was approved in a
at a
town.
town meeting.
And that included taking the Greenway how far?
Well, it
Can I
includes,
answer or help Rich if you need?
Yeah, let me just answer this, and if I
Sure.
go astray, Amanda, it would have taken it to East Main. However, that is not going to be the case. So after the last town meeting where we discussed the Greenway, it will terminate at Maple.
So we approved a greenway all the way to East Main and we approved 445,000, right?
Correct.
And as a part of that, we agreed that we were gonna bond the 445,000 eventually.
Yes.
And then we stopped short at Maple. And so at that time, did they anticipate 445 was gonna take it all the way to East Main? Because
So
my question is, if we didn't go further than Maple, how are we 200,000 short?
because
So
there's a
it's really 665 that we need? Or
no,
645?
no, there's a couple of things that have happened. There were several delays in funding for this project, which did two things. Uh, it basically, and some of the funding for this project was pulled back. So the 200,000 is to fill a gap for funding that was pulled back from the federal
Oh,
government.
the 7 million that disappeared overnight?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I guess my question is, if it was approved to go all the way to East Main, and then we had that whole issue with Elm Street. And it was voted down to carry it down Elm Street. Did that trump the original approval of taking it all the way to East Main?
Nope.
So we approved to go all the way to East Main, and then it got cut short at Maple.
Yes.
So is it still illegal? We voted to bond to take it all the way to East Main. If we didn't accomplish what we said we were gonna do, can we still bond, or do we need another vote?
According to our counsel, Mike Rybeck, we do not need another vote.
I'm just confused. We voted to allocate money and to do a project, and then it got stopped. And now we're short. So we agreed to bond 445,000, but we were gonna get a part of 7 million. So
So sorry, the 7 million included stuff that goes all the way down the
yeah,
river.
I know it included a lot of other
lot of other
parts, but
towns.
we were supposed to get a certain amount of that
Yes.
and added on to the 445, which would have taken us all the way to
The-
East Main. So
The
basically,
445,
445 was like our commitment,
our match
our match. Okay.
3 years ago.
I still am,
And there's a lot of pieces to this. There's a lot of funding pieces that come from different places.
yeah, I understand. It's been going on for 20 years, so. So, okay. I don't have any more questions, but.
I just wanted to bring this board up to speed on what I've been working on as it relates to this. And it's
So-
sort of come to the surface now because it's the announcement from the Rec Trails group has taken so long that now we have to start paying the money back.
But are we paying back our bond anticipation note, or are we gonna go forward and actually bond now the
No,
445,000?
Paying back the bond anticipation note. You can only hold it for 3 years.
So we have to pay the whole 445?
We have to pay 1/20th.
And then eventually it gets bonded?
And yes, if the project continues, which, there's the decision point of whether we get to 200 or don't get to 200. If we don't get to 200, that puts us in a different place. And I think we, as a community, have to figure out what we're going to do.
So that 1/20th is $22,250. Where would that money come from?
I don't, it'll come from the money that we borrowed against the note. It'll be the 445.
Okay. To be continued.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just gotten to the point, Mike, where I needed to share this. Because there's a lot of moving pieces here.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna move to old business. Yep.
Well, she was going to clarify if Rich couldn't, and I think I'm satisfied with what Rich said. Oh,
Do you want to hear from Amanda?
unless she's got something different from what you just explained.
Anything different, Amanda?
No, that sounds about right.
Okay, thanks. So the next item is in old business is the item that Mike, you asked me to A, follow up on, and B, add as old business. So I sent an email to Joe Gary, who is sorry, this is in the way. Close this. Who is the chief of staff for the mayor of Waterbury. He's the guy I've been going back and forth with, both trying to help the railroad group and also pose the question to him on, what's going to happen here, right? So I asked him what the plan is. The last time I asked him this question, he said, well, we know we have to do something, but we also currently don't have a head of our water department, so we're looking to hire somebody. So his response to me is, as of June 9th, that they have been researching and looking into technologies that may help them to identify weaknesses in some of the wire banding that wraps around the concrete pipe. They're in the preliminary stages of looking and are looking for ongoing discussions about the pipe in question. So, they're aware and they are looking on different options and what they can do. There is also a new water superintendent starting. That would have been 2 weeks from June 9th. Once they get him up to speed on the recent failures and what's been happening, that is supposed to be the top priority for that water superintendent.
Yeah, okay. That's all dandy about as being where I said they need to be proactive. So they're going to try to look and research and use technology. But as it says, we've got 7 miles of pipe. I want to know the follow-on to this. It's broken twice and they've done substantial damage to the. So I want to know what the remedy is there, because initially they just said you're going to have to go through your own insurance, and I don't think that.
So that's
fair.
not the case anymore.
Okay.
No, Joe reached out to Howard Pincus and explained to him that he needs to fill out a form so that Waterbury can put it through their insurance.
Yeah, very good. Okay.
Yep.
Because 7 miles, Rich, and I don't have to tell you, we could have 25 more breaks and different properties damaged all between there and their water treatment facility. So we really need to get out in front of this. But I'm happy to hear that they're going to put it through their insurance. I hope their insurance pays for it and doesn't kick it back and say, you got your own insurance. Because if that happens several times all the way up through town, then we're going to let Waterbury destroy our town 25 feet at a time.
Understood.
Thanks.
I will keep,
I'd like to keep carrying this.
keep on it.
So it's completely resolved.
Yep.
All right. Yeah,
Sounds
thank
good. The next item on the agenda is board commission appointments and resignations. We need to add a couple items to the agenda. I know I put that there were none, and at the time of this writing, which was last week, we had none, but now I've got the documentation from the relevant parties so that we can adjust this. So under resignations, I would accept a motion to add an item to accept the resignation of Anthony Kepler from the Board of Education.
So move.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. So I would accept a motion to accept the resignation of Anthony Kepler from the BOE.
So move.
Second, actually, you have to, no, I second it. I
Yeah.
can't always remember how this works with two people.
Yeah, I make the motion.
You make the motion, I second.
To,
I seconded it. All those in favor?
aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Okay.
I would accept a motion to amend the agenda to add under resignations, the resignation of Hillary Combs from the Greenway Committee.
And how is that spelled?
COMBS.
Hillary Combs. I make a motion to add the resignation of Hillary Combs from Greenway to the agenda.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Now I make a motion to accept the resignation of Hillary Combs from Greenway.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Under appointments, I would accept a motion to amend the agenda to add the appointment of Jim Campbell to the Board of Finance.
I make a motion to amend the agenda under appointments to add Jim Campbell to the Board of Finance.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Now I make a motion to appoint Jim Campbell to the Board of Finance to fill the vacancy of
Adam Silverman.
Silverman. Yeah, sorry.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Yep.
Tax refunds is the next item on the agenda. There are none. I have only one small bit of communication. I will be on vacation July 6th through the 17th, which means I will miss the first meeting or the next Board of Selectmen meeting, if you will, which will be the 7th. But I will be back for the second Board of Selectmen meeting, which will be the 21st.
Okay.
So I leave that to you and Beth to decide how you'd like to proceed. Debbie can fill you in on what's,
Yeah, we'll see what pops up between now and then.
Yep.
Right, okay.
and then I will, yeah, Deb will talk about that other meeting and how to set the agenda for that. Member comment?
No.
Public comment? There is no public comment from the room. If anyone on the Zoom would like to make public comment, please take yourself off of mute. Hearing none. Selectman Burr, would you like to?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thanks, everybody.